Once you have reached the Scarlet Forest, you'll end up with a base camp at the beginning. There is an NPC at the back called Kanya. She will give you quests for fishing. This is the first quest that Kanya will give you. From the beginning of base camp, if you turn around and walk over to where she is, she'll be at the back over here. Once speaking to her, when you first bump into her, oops, I accidentally spoke to him. There we go, speak to her. She will give you a quest just to catch a single fish, as the fishing mechanics are now different in Monster Hunter Wilds than they were to Monster Hunter Iceborne. You can fish from either of the ponds at either side. As a side note, you will have to do each one of her quests by using the fishing rod. You cannot use the capture net to capture the fish, as it will not mark it as complete when you are doing her quests. Following the directions on screen, hold down L2 and use the right analog stick to aim where your lure wants to be. Then press R2 to cast your lure. Once the lure is in the water, with an anti-clockwise motion on the left analog stick, make the lure come towards you. This will get the attention of any fish in the pond. Once the fish has bitten the lure, press R2 and the animation will play out. That's the only thing that you'll need to do for the small fish. She'll accept any fish from either of these ponds once caught. When you return back to her, she'll give you a next side mission to continue forth with her campaign. The next objective is to catch a goldenfish. Goldenfish can be found in the Scarlet Forest, and by opening your map and making your way over to Area 8, there is a camp behind a waterfall, as circled here. Go over to that camp if you don't already have it, or simply fast travel to it. Once there, walk over to this particular spot. Here, many goldenfish and platinum fish can be found, which is also a good way to make money. Kanya will also give you different lures. As seen here, I used the common wood marrow lure, which doesn't interest the goldenfish whatsoever. Using the goldenfish lure, they'll be more interested in the bait provided. Again, use the techniques that you have learnt from fishing to do the same again. Once caught, return to Kanya. As a side note, if any of these fish do not spawn in the areas, you can always go back to your camp and rest. The options I usually pick for these fish is usually during the daytime or evening, or sometimes the morning, with the plentiful option. If the fish do not spawn again, simply go back to the tent and reload it by resting. The next fish that Kanya would want you to find is called a Gravid Bowfin. This fish can also be found in the Scarlet Forest, up in Area 17, above the waterfall. There is a camp up here. This fish can be a bit of a hard one to see, as it kind of sits lower at the bottom of the water than other fish do. It's kind of brown and looks a bit murky with a rounded head. The best thing to do is to search up and down the shoreline until you spot one. The recommended bait for this fish is the emerald jitterbait. However, it seemed interested in my golden bughead bait, which will work either way. The recommended way to catch this fish is by doing a slow anti-clockwise movement on the left analog stick to draw the bait slowly towards you, as this fish can sometimes shy away from the bait if you move it too quickly. After you have caught the fish, return back to base camp and speak to Kanya for the next assignment. The next fish that Kanya will want you to catch is called a whopper. Now, whoppers are any fish that are quite large, which means that the minigame is going to be slightly different for them. I'll explain that more once we get there. Using the same area as before, in Area 17 above the waterfall, make your way down to the water's edge. Here, if you look up and down the shore, there should be large fish in the water. These are the whoppers that you need. The bait that these fish enjoy is called the tough joint bait. Again, throw your line into the water and with anti-clockwise motion on the left analog stick, bring the bait towards you. Once the fish bites, press R2. This will start the minigame. When the fish goes to the left, move your analog stick to the left. When it goes to the right, move your analog stick to the right. When the fish tires, you'll see that it will go still. This means that you can reel your fish in. Sometimes the fish will try and jump away into the air. By doing this, you need to move your analog stick in the direction that it is jumping and press R2 to restrain it onto the line. Sometimes the fish will try and go near debris in the water. If so, move your analog stick in the opposite direction of the fish to try and steer it away. Different types of whoppers have different types of difficulties, but being patient is the key. If you watch what the fish is doing, you can easily understand what was going on. However, the game doesn't really explain this to you very well, and the directions on screen can be a bit confusing at times. Once you have caught your whopper fish, return back to Kanya for her final quest. The final fish that Kanya would want you to catch is called a grand Escunite. Remember where we caught the goldenfish in Area 8? That is exactly where you need to go to catch this one. Make your way over there or fast travel. Once back in this area, go back towards the platform where we caught the Goldenfish. If you see a shiny cephalopod looking creature in the water, that is exactly what we're after. Make sure that the bait you have equipped is the tentacle jig, as these fish prefer that type of bait. The trick for this fish is, instead of using the anti-clockwise motion of the analog stick, is to basically flick the analog stick down, which makes the bait jiggle in the water. The fish will then be drawn to the bait. Once it bites, press R2 and the animation will play out. Of course, once done, return to Kanya and complete her questline. These should be all of the quests that Kanya give you in her questline. If you completed them all, you have unlocked all the bait to be able to catch all the fish you would ever need. Hopefully this video has helped people out on where these fish are. I myself need long explained tutorials to understand mechanics of games, hence why this video might not be as short as other people's. But hopefully, I hope I explained most of the mechanics of the game and how they work. I will next be making an NPC side quest video of how to get the rare endemic life. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope the tutorial helped.